The good news for the Chiefs and the Bills that somebody's going to win this Sunday and get back to 500 for the year. It was ugly for both of these teams in week one. Both defenses allowing 40-plus points. Chiefs getting blown out at home by the Atlanta Falcons. Buffalo getting beat on the road by the New York Jets. The Bills allowing 48 points in that game to a New York Jets offense that many people thought would not be able to score 48 points over the course of 3 or 4 games. Only took them one game against the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Buffalo Bills have now allowed 48 points or more twice in the last 4 years. Those have been the last 2 games they've played. Week 1 against the New York Jets, last game of last season against the New England Patriots. So what is going on there in Buffalo with that defense? Wasn't supposed to be that way this year for the Buffalo Bills defense. Supposed to be a new era. They really made some changes in the offseason, signing Mario Williams, the big-time defensive end free agent from the Houston Texans. Also signed Mark Anderson to play opposite him, the other defensive end. Anderson has been a proven pass rusher in the league. Used some high draft picks on defensive players. One of those, Stephen Gilmore, is currently a starter at cornerback. So really made an effort to revamp that defense. But again, giving up 48 points to the New York Jets, a real head-scratcher. Kansas City's result just as surprising. The Chiefs, a veteran team, ranked 11th in the league last year in total defense. They have most of their key playmakers returning. They get safety Eric Berry, one of the best young players on defense. He came back this year after missing most of last season with an injury. They did lose cornerback Brandon Carr, which looked like it really hurt him. Atlanta had a lot of success through the air. Julio Jones, Roddy White, Tony Gonzalez, all really contributing in that offense. And the Falcons have a good offense, no question about it, but they don't have the type of offense that should be going on the road and hanging 48 points on a defense that ranked 11th in the NFL last year. So I really don't know what to make of this Chiefs performance. What I do think is we're going to see 2 motivated teams in Buffalo this Sunday. A lot of high expectations for both those teams this year. A lot of people thought the Bills wasn't going to be the same old Bills. They'd be a playoff contender this year with that revamped defense and some pieces on offense. And those pieces are starting to fall by the wayside here after week 1. When you analyze which loss was tougher, Kansas City's or Buffalo's, tough to say, but when you look at the injury situation, you have to say, I guess maybe Buffalo's. Buffalo lost their starting running back, Fred Jackson, in the first half of that game to a lower leg injury, then lost starting wide receiver David Nelson in the fourth quarter. Nelson's out for the year with a knee injury. Jackson's going to miss maybe a month, 3 weeks to a month, something like that. So the Bills are going to be shorthanded in this game. I mean, C.J. Spiller, their former first-round draft pick, who, in my opinion, has been a little bit of a disappointment his first couple of years in the league. He's going to get a chance now to step into the feature back role. Had an excellent game last week after Fred Jackson got hurt. We'll see if Spiller, who he's been, I think Reggie Bush is a good comparison. He's sort of been a guy who hasn't been able to run between the tackles in the NFL. A lot of things were projected of him. Has been more of a third down type back. We'll see if now he can fill Fred Jackson's role and fulfill, the promise that people once had for him, or the expectations that people once had for him. The Chiefs, a veteran offense, they made some additions this offseason, bringing in Peyton Hillis to help Jamal Charles and bolster that running game. Dexter McCluster, a guy I would look for on the Chiefs, was really targeted a lot in week 1 out there against the Falcons. And even though the Chiefs did not have a whole lot of success in offense in that game, McCluster did some things when he got the ball in his hands. Looks like he has a good rapport with Matt Castle. Look for McCluster, the slot receiver, to really get a lot of action in this game and moving forward for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, in terms of this game, betting-wise, BETDAQ has the Bills installed as a 3.5-point favorite. They don't yet have the total up. 45 is currently the total in Vegas on this game. Trends point towards Kansas City in this game. The Chiefs are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games after a loss. They're 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 road games. Buffalo, meanwhile, 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games overall. Bills have not been a good team to bet on recently. And the road team, which is Kansas City in this case, 4-0 against the spread in the last 4 meetings between these 2 teams. So some trends really pointing in the direction of the Kansas City Chiefs here. However, I just have a sort of gut feeling that Buffalo is going to win this game. I don't know why. Is that feeling going to make me throw any money at this game? No, it is not. I'm going to let these 2 teams who both gave up 40 points in week 1 battle it out. Probably going to let them play for a couple of weeks before I make up my mind on these teams and start actually backing them or laying them to lose. But as of now, I do lean towards Buffalo in this game. Again, it is 3.5 on BETDAQ. Now, if you like the Chiefs, that's a good number for you because this number is 3 at most places in Vegas. Again, 3.5 on BETDAQ. Buffalo Bills, 3.5-point favorite. Gotta believe that Buffalo Bills defense, or the whole team really, is going to be extremely motivated after that Week 1 performance. Of course, the same is true about the Kansas City Chiefs. Again, this is the NFL. These teams are both motivated. This is a close nip and tuck type game. Could go either way. Again, some of the betting trends favor the Kansas City Chiefs. My gut feeling favors the Buffalo Bills. Make of that what you will.